Hello students, today we are going to see shortcut to find LCM. Usually when you solve LCM, use the prime factorization method or use the tree method. Use maximum, you use these two methods. The most common one is the common division method by the prime factorization, which everyone does here. Okay, without doing those such calculation, we can find the LCM of the numbers using these shortcuts. So, and also I will let you know where these shortcuts will work out. So when you have some competitive examinations and Olympiad examinations, in that you will not be able to have enough time to calculate in a lengthy way and find out these LCMs. So now without any delay, let's move into the method. So first let me explain what can be done here. So you have to choose the biggest number among the two given numbers or three given numbers or how much ever the given numbers may be. Choose the biggest number among the given numbers. This is the first step you're going to do here. The second step, what you have to do here, if that number is divisible by the other or not, you're going to check. If that number is divisible by the other numbers. If it is divisible, then you can conclude that is the LCM. If it is divisible by the other numbers, then it is the LCM of the given numbers. Suppose if it is not divisible, so there may be a condition, the other condition also, right? If it is not divisible, you have to write down the multiples of the biggest number. Write down the multiples of the biggest number. So when you write the multiples of the biggest number, in one such case, you will be able to find any one of the multiple which will be divisible by the other numbers. So that will be the LCM of the given numbers. So now let's see in detail so you will understand the method. So now we will go to the example. So let's take some examples. So first let me take an example one. Very simple example. Let me take out here 2, 8. So now if you want to find out the LCM for these two numbers, I want to find out. So now choose the biggest number. So biggest number is 8. So now I can tell 8 is divisible by 2. If 8 is divisible by 2, then you can conclude that LCM of 2 and 8, which will be 8, you can conclude. So now we will move on to the example 2. So example 2, I am taking here 3 and 12. Similarly, I will be choosing here the biggest number, which is 12. So here if the biggest number is 12, and also you know here 12 is divisible. 12 is divisible by 3, you know here. If 12 is divisible by 3, then you can conclude here LCM will be here, it is 12. So now let's move on to the example 3. So now when you move to the example 3, I'm going to take two such numbers where it won't be a divisible. So suppose I'm going to take 2 and 13. So now we have seen another case, right? So if it is not divisible, we'll be writing the multiples of the bigger number. So 13 is not divisible by 2. If 13 is not divisible by 2, so you can know the multiples of 13. Otherwise, you can check out the video for the secret technique of the 13 table. Using that also you can draw on side by side to get it here. So now here 13, so 26, 39, it will be going on. You need not write everything. You can conclude here itself this 26 is divisible by 2. So what we are writing? First we are writing the multiples of the 13. In the 13, we are able to find 13 into 2, which is 26. That 26 is divisible by 2. So now I can conclude that my LCM will be here. It is 26. So now let's see one more example so you will be able to understand better. So now we'll move to the example 4. In the example 4, when we take 30 and 45. So now here we are going to check 45 is a bigger number. So now 45 is divisible by 30. No, it is not divisible by 30. Now start writing the multiples of 45. So when you write the multiples of 45, you write 45, 90 and it will be going on. Now here itself I have found it out, that is 90, right? So now 90 is divisible by 30. So now I can come to a conclusion that my LCM will be here, it is 90. So now let me explain you with one more example so you will understand very much clearly. That is example 5. So now we have to find out the LCM of 30 and 42. So when you do here the biggest number, so when I choose my biggest number here, it is 42. I know 42 is not divisible by 30. Now start writing the multiples of 42. When you write multiples of 42, you can write 42, 84, 126, 168, 210. Like this it will be going on, you will be able to get it here. So now when you look at clearly here, this 42, I know it is not divisible by 30, 84 is not divisible by 30, 126 also it's not divisible by 30, 168 is also not divisible by 30. So if I take 210 is divisible by 30. So now I can come to the conclusion that it is LCM is equal to 210. So you may think how ma'am is telling directly that 84 is not divisible by 30, this is not divisible by 30, right? So when you take 30, 30 is a combination of 3 table and 10 table. Definitely the number for the divisibility rule of 3 is the sum of the digits. So for example, if you take sum of the digits 8 plus 4, 12, but it should be ending with 0. Here it's not ending with 0. So therefore I am telling here these numbers are not divisible by 30. So now I'm going to come to conclusion that 210 is divisible by 30. So now if it is divisible by 30, I can come to the conclusion that LCM is equal to 210. So now hope you understood better. Try to practice more and more problems. You will be able to do better in your examination. If you have any such numbers and doubts which you are not able to find out the LCM, please comment me. I will be help you on that. Thank you friends. Have a great day.